Hello, how are we all doing? Starting off 3 years. I just realized. I just remembered this week. It's been 3 years since I started doing this fucking thing. So we celebratory stream. Um, so yeah, it is incredibly warm. And because I've had to turn off my fan so that people can hear me and close the windows. So you're going to watch me degenerate for a while during this stream as I get warmer and warmer. I have got wine. I poured it out already and I'm keeping it in the fridge this time. I've got fucking frozen raspberries and frozen grapes in this because it's a fucking treat. This is we're pushing the boat out today. It's white wine called like Vigna Sol. Don't know what that means. Don't know where it's from. Can't remember. 12% though, and on deal. And thank you for everyone saying congratulations on 3 years. 3 years. In that 3 years, I've gone from a zero subscriber channel to a medium to small sized YouTube channel. We've really made it. And we've got some nice wine. We've got some nice wine this time, unlike last time. Actual nice wine with frozen grapes and frozen raspberries. Thank you for all of the well wishes. There's nothing wrong with that heat, John. Just cover yourself in oil to double the viewers. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm already glistening with fucking sweat. Look at me, I look plastic. So we'll see. Why are there frozen grapes? Well, I'm glad you asked, because with frozen grapes, what you can do is you can cool down the wine without actually diluting it. It's a real trick. Not many people know about that. You're not late at all, Kate Marshall. You're right on time. We literally just started. I'm just doing my normal bullshit. That London heatwave, yeah, 31 degrees. That is too hot for me. It's too hot for me. I can't deal with it. I just got back from a swim as well about like an hour ago, so it cooled me down at the time, but now I'm hot from doing exercise. So I really fucked that one for myself. Thank you, Michelle H. And Susan, thank you. Shall we just have a wee play for a start? Have a wee muck around on this wee tune? I quite like it. I don't know if it's Chardonnay. I don't know anything about wine. It's called Vigna Sol. I've already forgotten what the wine is called, but it's 12%. So so it's 12%. Well, thank you, Katie. Let's have a wee play around on this track. There we go. Nice fun one to kick it off. So how's everyone? Is there anyone else dealing with the heat? Or is it just me complaining here? I think Mark Knopfler did do something like that. He did do some shit with the pickups to fuck around and try and get the sound right. But I cannot remember. Cool where you are. God, you're living my dream. I guess if I'd thought about this harder, I could have done some sort of. It's 33 and you're wearing a hoodie outside. Well, that's just unreasonable. There's no reason why anyone should be doing that. Melted, yep. Everyone who's having a cooler time than me is dead to me. 18 is the dream. 18 is like the perfect temperature. Overcast and 20 degrees, that's another good one. I could deal with that. If I'd thought harder about this, and if I'd remembered that it was the 3-year anniversary of doing YouTube, I would have prepared something to actually do today, like some sort of retrospective on videos, and been like, I had a look over and thought about what sort of my favourite things that I've done in the channel have been. But as it stands, I've not done any of that. So we're just gonna fucking vibe, and it's just we're just gonna fucking vibe and see what comes up. Video tier list. I mean, I do think there are definitely some videos that pop into my head that are ones that I particularly like, as both essays and in terms of like their craft as videos. 27 is hot. 27's too hot. Ooh, 28 degrees in Glasgow. I remember I once moved flat in Glasgow on the hottest day on record at that time, which was like, it was 2018, and it was like 32 degrees, and I moved my entire flat, which included a drum kit and every book I owned, which was a lot of books, on Glasgow subway back and forth to this flat. And the flat that we were going into was like a loft flat with the windows at an angle, so it was absolutely fucking roasting. It was hellish, and all day I spent moving that flat fucking drum kits and books and everything I owned back and forth via Glasgow's frankly not good subway system. Yeah, the Clockwork Orange, yeah, fucking nightmare. I used to get to work on the Clockwork Orange, and people complain about London Underground sometimes, especially the Northern Line, like it being like really busy and like being noisy. Fucking commuting on the Clockwork Orange is a fucking nightmare. Like, because at least in London Underground, like, it comes every 2 minutes. You miss one Glasgow subway, you're gonna be late for work, because it's like, and rush hour it's like 6 minutes, and sometimes if you miss that one, it's like another 15 minutes, and you're fucked. And I simply am too tall for the Clockwork Orange, so no matter where I am in that carriage, I am crouching down. It's not good. God, I fucking hate that subway. Yeah, not good. What was I saying before I got distracted by the Clockwork Orange? Yeah, I'm like 6'4". I'm a long boy. Yeah, a quick way to get heat stroke for sure. Went from a small city with only surface transit to a small town without a transit system at all. Yeah, fuck me. I've never lived in a place that. Have I lived in a place that didn't have transit? No, not really. I've always lived in a place that's had, even, at some point, I'm just gonna leave. Honestly, Timfall, I was fucking considering it. I was like, would that be too much? I'm melting. But this is quite conservative today. There's only one button undone. Um, what was I saying? Yeah, the worst public transport, both for the heat and to capture the thirsty demographic. I don't think the thirsty demographic for me is particularly large to capture. I don't think there's much scope in advertising on that sense. Yeah, the worst transit I had was growing up in a village where, like, you couldn't get from one village to another. You could only really get from one village into Edinburgh, and then get another bus out. So it was like getting into town. You was fine. You could get the bus took like an hour 15 to get into Edinburgh, but getting between like 15 villages that are 15 minutes away was a fucking nightmare. What was I saying? Oh yeah. I was talking about videos. Yeah, I think I was thinking about this slightly because I think that I spoke about this last time. I think the Adam Conover video is the best video I've done in terms of like craft of video making. So I'm quite pleased. I mean, it's quite nice that came out soon, close to the 3-year anniversary, to be like, oh, this is nice. This is the big progress in terms of the ability to do the craft. But I think I think still my strongest ones, script-wise, are the one on debate culture and internet sort of epistemology and the structures of YouTube and stuff like that, which is relevant given the fucking discourse that was the past couple of days. And also the one on neoliberal feminism. I think those are both my fucking stupid light. I think those are both my favourite actual videos script-wise. Yeah. Imagine a yassified John pulling a contra like a quarter of bread tubers. I don't know what that means. Sometimes I read a sentence and I'm like, I'm just relieved that I don't know what it means, because it means I'm not totally and utterly brain poisoned yet by online, but that fucking sentence went over my head, and I don't want anyone to explain it to me. Leave me in my bliss, in my blissful ignorance. I have a couple of types and lanky Adrian Brody types. Am I a lanky Adrian Brody type? Buses still on strike, yeah, supporting the striking buses. I can see that. Look, I'm just here trying to keep cool and enjoy some wine with some frozen grapes and frozen raspberries in it. I've got some cider later that I'm gonna mainly use the frozen raspberries for. So, but the frozen grapes, we're keeping cool, we're keeping chill, we're not letting the thirst take us over, and we're being respectful. Shall we? Oh, the wine is much better than last time. The wine is a delight today. It actually tastes nice. We've actually got some good wine today, and not some fucking filth that we had last time. The frozen raspberries and cider is good. Thoroughly recommend that, and it also makes you feel kind of fancy when you're actually just drinking cider. So it's definitely a good shout if you want to feel fancy. I had a bit of a nightmare yesterday, because so I'd planned to see Rage Against the Machine and Run the Jewels with an old flatmate of mine, one of my sort of best friends who still lives up in Scotland, and we planned it. We'd gotten the tickets months ago, and we were all excited. We'd sent each other some like clips of the tour so far. And we're like, fucking can't wait to see this. Yesterday just got the thing saying gigs cancelled, and they're cancelling Rage Against the Machine are cancelling their entire European tour, and that was a fucking night. That was fucking gutting. So we're treating ourselves today. But on the upside, Run the Jewels are still doing their gig in Scotland, so we got tickets for that. Anyway, on the same day. Anyway, yeah, it was a bit of a gutter, that one. But we're treating ourselves today. We got our, I think the reason why I think it must have been Zach De La Roche's health. I think they said they'd been advised not to do it for some health reasons or something. I can't remember exactly. Yeah, something like that, which is obviously understandable. But they're like one of the bands that getting to see them would have been like a fucking once in a lifetime thing. Foot injury, right? That's a shame. Maybe in a few years they'll try it again. But yeah, that was a bit gutting. My brother was gonna go as well. I don't know if he's seen that the Run the Jewels are playing as well. We'll see. Yeah, it's gotten just like fucking a week out from it, 6 days out from it. And I'd already booked my train tickets back up to Scotland for it. But we're going to see Run the Jewels anyway. Run the Jewels will be good. I like Run the Jewels a lot. And if there's any band that's kind of has a similar energy to Rage Against the Machine, it's Run the Jewels. Let's do another track. not feeling it, doing something else. a wee while, but we got something out there. Not sure how long we'll stick with this. It's a bit jumpy. It's an Epiphone. It's an Epiphone cherry red something or other. I can never remember what the build is. So yeah, thanks for the new people who've arrived. Welcome to the fucking 3-year stream. Was soon nearly at 25k. I was hoping to be at 25k much earlier in the year in this, but the channel's kind of stalled a bit in terms of growth. But we'll get it back. We'll get it back up at some point. Need to get another big video like the chicken run video just to boost some shit. Had someone from my old school found that video and commented being like, I think I went to school with this guy. Which was weird. Hey Annabelle, welcome. We're just chatting away. Yeah, well, happy Friday everyone. It's been a stressful week. I had a job application. Hope everyone else's week has been fine. One of the reasons why this is on Friday instead of Thursday is I was supposed to be at a meeting yesterday, but the heat I just couldn't take going on a bus. What do I know about the history of the Scottish IWW? Absolutely nothing, unfortunately. I am a member of the IWW, but I've never managed to get much involved with them. I should be more involved, but I've got too much on my plate right now. It'd be interesting to learn more about them. Replace all E's with 3's, yeah. Thank you, Lucian. Thank you. That's very kind. Cheers. Might have to go out and refill my wine in a second. This is mostly raspberry and frozen grape at this point. Buses do not have AC here. No. The trains often do, but where I needed to go yesterday didn't have any train routes, unfortunately. Yep, that's absolutely fair. It is too warm to do basically anything in the UK right now, and yeah, so it's been a stressful week. Had a job application to get in for Tuesday. Managed that. That would be nice if I got that. Then got a new video. There's a new video coming out on Monday, by the way. The job application. The job application went okay. I don't think I'll get the job, because it's, well, I mean they're looking for early career researchers, but it's not early career researcher salary. It's a high salary. It's like 37 grand, which is like at most early career researcher salaries are like 22. So it's a high. So they'll be wanting someone very good, and I don't have the requisite experience to prove that I'm very good. But you never know. Good to get your name out there anyway. See what happens. It would be. I need to stop doing it because I keep thinking about all the plants I could buy with with an actual salary. I think the most money I've ever earned in my life is like 18,000 a year, and obviously 37 is more than that. I can't really imagine what you'd do with that kind of money. So I need to stop thinking about that because I won't get the job. So we'll see. There's probably still time for me to get into Gramsci at some point. Yeah, I really do hate job applications. I hate them so much. I hate the whole ordeal of spending days and days on an application, putting all in it, and just like firing it away and then basically knowing that you won't get it, not for any fault of your own, but because there's just so many people going for jobs. and like fucking people I've spoken to who recruit often just like fire half of the CVs they get, half of the applications they get away because they just get way too many. And obviously with all of the cuts to education and departments across the country, there's going to be a whole load of people looking for jobs, and a whole load of people who have experience, much more experience than I do, and you know, much more publications and everything. So yeah, it's gonna be a challenge. We'll see what happens. That's right, tinfoil. That's a very good point. Yeah, I know. My brothers have been in that situation when both my brothers are teaching, and that's a big problem in teaching, is that they know who they want to hire for a job a lot of the time, but still have to advertise it. Obviously, it's a job opening, so they have to advertise it. So you get loads and loads of people who are applying for these jobs when they know they're not going to get it. But you can't not apply just in case. So you know, my brothers have had situations where they know that they're not going to get the job, but still going for the rigmarole of doing the interview and everything, because it's like, oh, it's practice and all that shit for interviewing. Oh, fucking, it's hellish. I hate job hunting so much. It's so shit. Yeah, I mean, like, I just, the notion of not having to actively worry about paying your next month's rent is that's something. It would be nice. I hate CVs a lot as well. Mine looks okay because I'm quite good at bullshitting my way around it, and doing, you know, making my limited teaching experience sound a lot bigger than it was. I should if anyone from that job I just applied to is watching, none of the CV is bullshit. It's all true, and it is all true, and it's all written in the way that anyone would write a CV. Right, I'm gonna fill up my wine. I'll be back in 1 second. Yeah, fucking job hunting sucks. Let's. I'm gonna do a different tune. Just 'cause fuck it. while folk chat about job hunting sucking because it fucking sucks, and everybody hates it. That was quite fun. Oh, whoops. I need to get a new microphone stand. Where did I learn how to play the guitar? From a teacher. I had a guitar teacher in school who was one of my brother's friends, and then just from fucking mucking around. I never learned how to play jazz. That's just fucking about. Oh, thank you. It's a nice shaped guitar. I really like this guitar. It was the first guitar I ever bought myself. I had an old like blue, like really cheap. You know that type of cheap electric guitar that people get as their first electric guitars. I used to have that for years and years and years. I keep up with it, yeah. It's just fun. Okay, we dropped for a second there. Is the stream ongoing? Let me know in the chat if stream's ongoing or if we're gonna fucking have to start another one. Yep, cool, amazing. Just filling about. Amazing. We almost. It's trying to kill us. They're out for us. They're out for us. The moment we start talking about jazz, that's when they try to get you. The government, the CIA, they don't want you talking about jazz. They try to take you down. Every time. How long does it take me to become proficient? I mean, it's hard to say. Like, I've been playing for since I was 10 years old, so it's almost 20 years. That's almost 20 years of on and off fucking about. I guess it's been a long time. Jazz musicians, they're out to get me. They are out to get you. They will come for you. Make sure you keep your location secret, or else you'll be getting a knock from the CIA pretty soon. Yeah, it's true. Jazz, that's where the feds draw the line. They will take you down for jazz. Oh fuck, there's something really pretentious you could say about music being the real resistance against authoritarian capitalism. They can silence our propaganda, but they'll never silence our jazz. That was actually a deleted line from Braveheart. That was the original line that Mel Gibson said in Braveheart. They may take our lives, but they'll never take our jazz. Jazz heart, exactly. That's what they're trying to take from you. With all this sort of fucking about, my favourite club, well, one of my favourite clubs in Edinburgh is the Jazz Bar. It's expensive, but it's always a good night. Need that on a t-shirt, yeah. I should start fucking selling t-shirts of the random bullshit that they come out with. Different things are different. Fucking on t-shirts. Fucking make a killing. Why have a job when you can sell tat? Oh, Ben Shapiro. I mean, we joke. Ben Shapiro would fucking hate that, wouldn't he? I bet Ben Shapiro probably has the most fucking boring music taste in the world. He probably I know that he played violin, so he probably listens to the most fucking normie violin music. Like the most fucking he'll listen to fucking Bach and Mozart just over on in a loop and think it makes him cultured. Oh, I'm not going down that route. You may say that. I am not going down that route. Adam Neely did a video on Ben Shapiro and music theory. That would be an interesting watch, because I know he he has this weird thing about rap music not being music because it's only rhythm. It's only and music, in his view, needs rhythm and melody, which isn't true. Like, that's just a weirdly I mean, it's not that weird. It's a ridiculously Eurocentric, and even within European music, not necessarily true, but like a sort of Eurocentric idea of what music should be like. But also, like, lots of rap music has melody. What? What? Like, rap music developed out of taking bits and pieces from disco and funk, all of which have both beat and melody to them, and then using rhythmic, like, basically poetry over it. Fucking, I mean, we can try and we can try. I don't want to take Ben Shapiro's point of view and then criticize his point of view as if it's a legitimate point of view to criticize, because the end of the day, the argument is basically he's racist and is saying racist things. So there's not like, the moment that you start criticizing Ben Shapiro's actual arguments, you've lost, because the real point is he's racist and he just says racist things, and you're like, yeah, man, that's racist. Thing you just said is racist. And you go, well, how is that racist? And you're like, well, it's racist, so fuck you. I don't want to talk about it. Fucking Ben Shapiro. Talking about, amazing, fucking, thank you for the super chat. Sorry, let me just lean in for that name. My contact lenses aren't great. Kitty H Juice, thank you for the super chat. Super chats get a cheers. Cheers to you. Cheers to you, Kitty H Juice. That's very kind of you. I hope you're having a wonderful day and enjoying the stream. Yeah, what was I saying? Ben Shapiro. Something about Ben Shapiro. Yes, talking about 3 years ago. Yes. So I remember specifically when I was thinking about starting this channel and I was talking to my brother about it. I specifically remember talking about not wanting to become one of these react channels that react to Ben Shapiro, because what does that add? It doesn't really add anything to anything. So many people do it. Some people have done it well and done fun videos, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really add much, does it, to say Ben Shapiro was wrong about politics, because, yeah, he's wrong and racist. And frankly, I don't really feel the need to prove he's racist. You just listen to the things he says and you're like, that sounds racist. And then you're right, it's because he's racist. But yeah, so I specifically remember talking about that with my brother 3 years ago, being like, yeah, he was like, well, what sort of thing would you want to do? And he sort of react to Ben Shapiro stuff, and I was like, not really. That's not really something I'd be interested in doing. And it'd be like an easy. It's like at that time, but it's probably less so right now. React content to Ben Shapiro, it's probably less, which I think is a good thing. It's probably less lucrative now, but back then it was probably it's probably a lucrative way to go down. But like, fuck that. Nobody needs that. If there's one thing I did do one video, the one on Scottish imperialism. I can't remember exactly how I did it, but I did use there was something that Ben Shapiro, it wasn't like an argument against Ben Shapiro, but there was a sort of rhetorical amnesia, cultural amnesia tactic that Ben Shapiro used that was really instructive in the ways in which Scottish people ignore colonial histories and colonial, the current colonial enmeshment in our politics, and I think that's the only time I've mentioned Ben Shapiro is in that video on Scottish imperialism. I think it's Scottish imperialism, cultural cultural amnesia and Ben Shapiro. I quite like that video. Occasionally, you know, I think aside from the video on left-wing white supremacists going after like Vosh and Caleb Maupin and that, and the one on Adam Conover, which we talked about last week, had some incredibly annoying replies. The one on Scottish imperialism is the one I get the most vitriol about from lots of Scottish people, Scottish nationalists mainly, who really fucking hate that. Which, as you know, it tracks. Yeah. I'm gonna expand the chat a bit because I can't see it. I'm gonna put it onto the bigger monitor because I can't quite see it clearly. And I'm gonna get rid of that. Yeah. Thank you, Charles. Yeah, I really like those two videos as well. The ones on left-wing white supremacy and debate, or particularly the one on debate, I think is one of my favourite ones. So I'm glad you like it as well. It's a good video. I'm pleased with that one. I mean, you still get it basically. Theo was saying it's that sort of React content was the first wave, and it sort of died down a bit. I'm not even sure if it is the first wave because Philosophy Tube's been on here for a long time and been doing stuff. There was this sort of React media stuff, and then folk like Lindsay Ellis and things like that. But it was definitely something big that came in, and it's still ongoing. Like fucking all the streamers who do React content, Vosh is still going on, and that's basically just downstream from React content to Ben Shapiro. And I'm sure he still does it. I know Hassan still does stuff like that. People like still react to Dave Rubin for some reason. That stuff's still going. And you know, fucking no shade to the folk who do that stuff. It's entertainment and it's fine. And it's fun and cathartic to watch that stuff sometimes, but it's not the sort of stuff I'd be interested in doing. I mean, I love a good chud dunk as well, Michelle. Like, it's very cathartic to get a good chud dunk in. You're just like, oh yeah, fucking get that shit right in there. It's not productive in any way, but it's very satisfying. Thank you, Liz. I like that Scottish imperialism one as well. I think it's there's a sort of period in about like from like the video I did on the Iraq War and the concept of like a neoliberal, I'm not going to say it because I don't want the stream to get demonetized, but a neoliberal, and from that video onward is stuff that I'm happy that people, because I see sometimes people, if they discover the channel, they go back through and they comment on stuff, and they go back further and further back in the videos, and up until that video on the neoliberal in Iraq is good stuff. I'm happy with people watching that. Once they get further back, it gets a bit iffy, and it gets earlier on. But that sort of period from that video until I think the one on necropolitics is probably like a good middle ground of stuff, and then from necropolitics to about now is about, I've been about the same. I'm pleased with those videos. I'm glad to hear that, Katie. Yeah, we have a lot of our fellow Scottish folk do not like knowing. I mean that's the thing I talk about in the video. It's not just like there's a weird reaction, a weird sort of tension within a lot of Scottish politics. So it's not quite the same thing as the English, where a lot of the time it's like imperial nostalgia, where they almost deny the badness of it happening. And the Scottishness, it seems to operate in this weird area where, I mean, Scottish identity is forged in colonialism and imperialism. Like the very idea of Scottish nationhood is forged by that. Like kilts and armies and bagpipes. Is fucking so much of that stuff is Walter Scott's horseshit from Empire. And Scottish people, a lot of Scottish people do not like that, which is fucking. Hey, Birdie, thank you for the happy birthday to the channel. Hey, Sinan, what's up? Always good to see you. I mean, as you're saying, like the fucking some of the videos, like one of my all-time favorite videos is the Big Joel video on the School of Life, which is just dunking on the School of Life, and it is just, it's just cathartic. It's just tinfoil. I like that thumbnail as well. I think that's my favorite thumbnail. The necropolitics thumbnail. It's nice. Yeah, that Big Joel video on the School of Life it's so cathartic, and just watching people go. I hate the School of Life so much, and for a while I wasn't able to say how much I hate the School of Life for some sort of reasons, at least publicly, and as soon as those reasons disappeared, I was like, yeah, fuck these guys, fuck this damaging horse shit that this fucking bald grifter pumps out time and again. Fish fingers at a restaurant. What are you talking about? You strange cue ball. What's happening? Fucking Dark World Michel Foucault. What's going on? So I enjoy a good dunk as much as the next person. Yeah. Just hear from your stream, screaming into the abyss. What's the abyss we're screaming at? The terrible. We'll try and keep the vibes light, so we maybe won't talk about it too much. But the terrible Labour Party response to the cost of living crisis, is that maybe the tenor of your stream today, Sinan? I'm not a. Oh, Big Joel's good. Spippy Spinny. Big Joel, he's a good boy. He's a nice lad. Does some fun videos. A lot mostly media analysis stuff. But if there's one video that I recommend you do watch, it is this video on. I think he's got a couple videos on the School of Life, and they're all very good. The one where he talks about fish fingers, it's great. It's perfect. Yeah, I'm very warm as well, Sinan. Right, we're back. Let me know when we're back, just to make sure. Hey, we're alive. Yeah, sorry, they've been trying to keep us down. That one was just Alan de Botton trying to cut off my internet access there. Did I hear about the debate around subaltern studies a few years ago when sociologist Vivek Chibar tried to take it down? I did not hear about that. Someone recently recommended me a book by Vivek Chibar. I've never read him, but I might give it a read. I'm not really, to be honest. I mean, in sort of academic terms, I'm not really that concerned about people. You get it fucking all the time. People trying to take down. And we're back. Yeah, sorry, folks. It's a bit bitty today. Don't know what's going on. If I had a name like Alan de Botton, I wouldn't be bringing so much attention to myself. Yeah, you're right. It's a wild name. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry about the bittiness of this stream today. At least it's not fucking totally dying. Yeah, well, I'm not too concerned about people trying to bring down various schools. I'm not really that interested in it. In the same way, I'm not really that interested in the fucking bits and pieces that go around all the time when it's like, was the Frankfurt school uniquely bad about things? It's like, Probably not. They were probably fine. They might have had some, like, what's the point? What are you trying to prove about then trying to break down these and try to take down an entire school of thought within, like, Marxism or whatever? You get it a lot of the time in terms of, like, one that's particularly, I think, weird is when post-colonialists critique and try to completely dismiss the work of decolonialists, and you're like, why? Like, you might have disagreements with these people, and you're very welcome to argue about them, but, like, they obviously have relevant things to say, so what's the point? That being said, anyone who disagrees with me is a fool and a coward, and I will not back down from that position. Let's do another track. most composing Kings of Leon is probably the most accurate fucking thing that's ever been said on this stream. I didn't even mean to be composing like early Kings of Leon, but that's what's turned up, isn't it? It's just all it needs is fucking strained for fucking Kings of Leon vocals. Quite like that tune though. I will like Kings of Leon. They're one of those bands that like fell off hard. Like they were like, especially their first two albums are genuinely just really good. And then they just really fell off hard. So I'll take that as a compliment. A Zoom meeting. Nobody likes a Zoom meeting, but we appreciated you being here, Charles Wofford and Wofford. Sorry for pronouncing your name wrong. Good luck with your Zoom meeting. Yeah, I mean that is fair, Sinan. 10 years ago, fucking hell. Yeah, 10 years ago. It's almost 10 years ago since I went to university. We appreciate you too, Charles. Fucking 10 years ago, man. Time is a flat circle. Time is time is fake, and I do not subscribe to such bourgeois creations as time. I'm not 28, I'm ageless. Fuck you. Yeah. Still, long time. Yeah, I think that was one of the reasons. I think that one of the good things about going to see Rage Against the Machine with my flatmate is you like that one on a t-shirt, yeah. um, uh, yeah, one of the things about going to see Rage Against the Machine with my flatmate was that it's almost a 10-year anniversary of when we met, which is wild. It's fucking wild, to for that to be the case. 10 years is a long time to be active friends with someone. Wild. Oh man. Probably get one more wine and then I'll move on to the cider. Want some? Let's see if I can catch some of these grapes in my mouth. Right in there. Ah, fuck. That one went right on the floor. Mm. Oh yeah, these are the frozen grapes. I mean, these ones aren't frozen now. They've fully defrosted. Um, I'll get some more for my last glass, and then we'll move on to the cider. Oh, we're going for an hour and a half. We've got some time left in us, don't we? Hang around for a bit longer. That's it. You want to make fancy drinks now? This isn't fancy drinks. This is wine in a cup with some frozen grapes in it. It's not exactly fucking kingly, is it? Right, back in 1 minute. Scruff fancy, that's fair. I've never actually eaten a frozen grape on its own. I've only ever put it in wine to chill it without diluting the wine, because that's what you can do with frozen grapes. If you put them in wine, you can actually chill the wine without diluting it. I don't know if anyone's ever told you that before, but it's something you can do with frozen grapes. Started on the cider. Cider will be on after this. I mean Friday. Yeah, this is Friday. Usually I stream on Thursdays, and I'm not gonna say that because people will make fun of me. But this is a Friday, so we're fine. We're good. We're not worried about the next day. Totally new info. It's totally new info. And I like to bring new ideas into the YouTube sphere. That's sort of my I find the grape thing so fucking funny. And I know that it annoys people, and that just makes it funnier to me. And some people can pretend that it doesn't annoy them, but I know that it does. And I know it annoys people because I do it to people in real life all the time. And it annoys them, and that nourishes me. I'm just like, look at that delicious annoyance winding up people. Oh, it's so good. It's so delicious to me. Oh, thank you, Mark Draft, and that's very kind. Welcome to the channel. We do our best here. That's all we can do, is our best, and we try our hardest. Do it, Sinan. Get that dodgy fried chicken. You deserve it, mate. It's Friday. Anyone got any big plans the weekend? I'm going to a party that is themed on saints and their aspects. I think that's the word. And I don't know any saints, and I don't know what their aspects are. So I am really phoning it in this party. Sinan was raging at James O'Brien, saying what is basically the job we both do is harder than manual labour. What? Sorry, I feel like what you can't do if you do manual labour is drink a bottle of wine and play guitar. Like, I'm not saying there's things that aren't hard about this job, but there's lots that's hard about this job. And I don't want to unduly elevate manual labour as the most legitimate and difficult form of labour. But I'm currently drinking wine on stream as a job. I feel like that kind of answers the question. Oh, Tinfoil Payne's got a date. Exciting. Hope it goes well. The lucky person. Hope it goes well for you and the lucky person. Not going to a church. I've got some friends who are art historians, and seem to think that this is a fun idea for fancy dress. And I sort of heard about it last minute, and I don't have the ability to put time and effort into that. The last costume party I went to, was a good costume. It was for a friend of mine's birthday. The last party I went to, and the theme was K because her name starts with a K, and I'd say so you could dress as anything for K. So I just assumed lots of people would either be going as ketamine or ketamine dealers. Nobody turned up as a ketamine dealer or as ketamine. I was surprised. There were a few people who were dressed as kids, but I turned up wearing a corn t-shirt with sugar packets sellotaped all around me, and went as sweet corn, and I was very, very proud of myself for that. I was fucking cheesing. I was like, this is so fucking funny. I'm so fucking funny. Jesus Christ. Some people were very angry about it. So many people. I just assumed people would turn up as ketamine. Foot reveal when, yeah. I'm sure in one of these streams I've probably done a foot reveal at some point by accident. But thank you for the congratulations. Sweet corn does not begin with a K, right? I had this exact conversation with like 2 or 3 people at the party. Sweet corn does not begin with a K, but the change of C to K, because corn the band is KORN, means that the most important letter is K. That is the that is the letter that is being changed. That is the letter to which attention is drawn, so it remains legitimate. And I said this to many people at the party. I was like, Your Honour, I will approach the bench now and I will make my case. It's the most important letter. It was the most important letter in the word, like, because C gets changed, so it's the most important. It's like it's the most important letter. I will stand by that case. I bring forward your witnesses. Nude HD.xyz. We're gonna fucking block whatever this is. No, I'm not getting disbarred. I'm not getting disbarred from anything. My argument stands, and the host of the party, who is, in this case, the judge and the jury, in this case, was very much pleased with the costume. So the costume stands, my point stands, and it was a good costume. Corn is it's sweet corn. Yeah, no, it makes sense. It makes total sense. Everyone knows that the K in sweet corn is silent. Exactly. Should we do another tune? Are we happy with this one? Let's do another tune. Let's see what we come up with. Might start with a drum beat. Should we get like a fast disco beat? See what happens. Let's try that. Wasn't expecting that, but that's what happened. I quite like it. It's like if someone took house music and made it happy. Welcome to all the new people. How are we all doing, new people? So I'm still looking like a fucking ghost. Fucking camera. Pina colada music. I like that. I can fucking vibe with pina colada music. All heists are happy. I said house, like House. Is that how you spell house? I'm so bad at spelling. But I mean, I guess heists can be happy. A grape just splashed in me. Sims 2 music. That feels like an insult. How is everyone who's new to the stream? How are we all doing today? We're all just vibing, chilling out, celebrating the 3 years of making silly little videos on this channel, doing fun little things. Oh, by the way, anyone who's interested, the new video is now up for patrons, which is, it's just a wee video on seven like books that have been, it's basically a book recommendation video, and how different books have influenced my thinking throughout the channel and throughout my work beyond the channel. Saint-based costumes is good. Shit, sorry, Sinan. No, you don't have to do work. It's Friday night at nearly 10 o'clock. You don't need to do work at this time of night, at this time of the week. It's in fact illegal to do work. And if you do any work, I will find you and I will, I don't know, break your legs. Alright, you need to, okay, maybe I'll just break your fingers then. I mean, people need to stop working. I appreciate people have work to do, and I guess technically this is me doing some level of work, shamelessly promoting myself to the algorithm. But it's Friday night, come on. Anyone who's not on Friday night yet, I can understand. You're working your way to Friday night. But if you're in a time zone that's Friday night, stop working. It's Friday night. Yeah, Birdie, I know what that's like. Doing both a job like this, a YouTube job, as well as a PhD, where both of them famously overcome every other part of your life. Keeping a solid delineation between your work and life is really, really hard. It's not an easy thing to do. I mean, 3 p.m, sure. 3 p.m. I can accept. I'm gonna eat these grapes and then I'm gonna get some cider. And we'll start. No, we've got plenty of time. Neil Anderson, are you the patron who just subscribed just before I came on stream? If you are, I will send you the welcome message after stream, and you should be able to watch it. If you're you should be able to watch it. It's up now for patrons. If you just scroll on the Patreon page, the last post should be the video. Whenever you can watch it at any time now. But for everyone else, it should be up on Monday. I think I'll do a wee premiere, just see how that goes. And then I swear I'm doing the masculinity video next. Fair enough. That's fair enough. Alright, I'm gonna get some cider. I'll be back in just a minute. Before I pour my cider, a cat just ran in the room, so I'm going to grab him and show him off on camera. Because what else is he for? Come on, you. Come on. I want to show you off to your fans. Here he is. What do you say to your fans? Nothing? You have nothing to say? Alright, I'll hold you like a baby. There you go. He's such a long cat. It's bizarre how long he is. He's like a fucking slinky. You have no conception of what being on stream actually means, do you? Alright, that's enough. Well, he's trying to hug me. We'll check him out now. Say goodbye. Okay, that's very cute. But you're still leaving. That's less cute. Ow. Do you really have fucking... Okay. You're gonna have to let go of me. You're gonna have to let go of me. Let go of me. That cat has issues. I don't know how he's so tall. He's so long. He's just long. Like, he doesn't look that long when you... Fuck, he really got me there. He doesn't look that long... 1 second. He doesn't look that long when he's just normal, but you just fucking... You just fucking pick him up and he stretches. Anyway, cider. Oh, that cat is not fucking individualistic. That cat is a fucking attention hog. He, it's Old Moot cider. You know that kiwi cider. It's nice. I like an Old Moot. But he is not independent. That cat, fucking every morning. Sorry. Every morning, my flatmate gets up and has to sit with the cat for like 15 minutes, while the cat hugs him, because he needs a cuddle in the morning before he gets going, and he's learned our like patterns. So when my flatmate goes on his lunch break and I tend to come out. A little bit of bleeding birdie, but he got that sort of, you know when you get like, you know when you used, when you were a kid and you had like a, kombucha. I've never had kombucha, so I've got too many threads going on in my head right now. You know when you've got like a pin or like a safety pin and you can like thread it through, you can like get a bit of skin without making yourself bleed. Don't know if anyone else did that when they were a kid, but it's something I did. The cat kind of got that, so there's not real bleeding, but he kind of just was holding on to me. Yeah, but he's learned our sort of work patterns and work and sleep patterns, so he knows when each of us is going to come out of our rooms or go to eat something. We all did that, cool. I was worried that was a weird thing at first. Yeah, so he waits outside our rooms at different times, and you know, look, he demands attention. My flatmate gets sometimes frustrated because he'll be sitting with the cat, and then the cat comes and rubs his face on me. He's not an independent beast. That cat, he has not an independent bone in his body. I don't think he's spent more than like 8 hours alone in a day. He's always got someone with him. I can pat him like a dog. Like sometimes just pat him like that, and he loves it. He's so weird. He's like a weird like. Yeah, it's weird. He doesn't seem to have bones. He's like a bag of socks. He's like a bag of like old socks. Like he just sort of flumps. He's a very strange wee beast. But we all love him. He's very charismatic, in his own way. It's very different. Like my parents' cat is like a very charming, kind of erudite kind of guy. He's very like friendly as well. He'll run up to people when they walk in the door and demand attention. But first of all, he's also an outdoors cat because my parents live in sort of the countryside. So he's not as dependent that bastard. But he's very friendly, and he's erudite as well. He's kind of charming. He'll sit there and he'll chat with you. He'll meow back and forth with you, but there's a degree of charm to it. That cat's a fucking mess. He just wails until he gets his attention. I don't know what he is. I've never met a cat like him. It's a strange beast. The friend who I went to the K-themed birthday party with has a very, very charming older cat that they rescued. He's got fucking nothing in his head. Anton wails. Anton wails all the time. He just goes, "Ah! Ah!" It's sometimes annoying, sometimes very funny. My friend's cat, that's an older cat, is very very charming. He's got not a thought in his head. Yeah, it was a theme. The theme was the letter K. Because my friend's name starts with K. It was her birthday, and she was like, "Yeah, it's a K-themed birthday." Should sample him, yeah. On sampling, should we do another track? Cool, yeah. I think we could do a more chilled sort of track. I think we'll make this the last tune of the evening because I'm kind of liking this vibe. So we'll get it laid down and then we'll just chat for a bit. But this will probably be the final tune of the evening. So get your final drinks in. Sorry, I accidentally hid Liz there instead of the bot, but they're back now and the bot is gone. Thank you, Larkin. Fine. The pedals that I use are a JTC. The loop pedal is a JTC drum looper, which is really fun. It's got a bunch of drum loops in it. Not the sort of variety that you'd want. For like there's things that some beats I'd like to do which are maybe not on this looper, but it's a very, very fun looper. Definitely a good purchase. My delay / reverb pedal is a hardwire pedal, which is like a loop and reverb pedal, and that used to be what I used for loops, but the loop is like 30 seconds and it's really bad. Fucking hell, adult porn sites coming on again. I've got an ultra octave pedal, which is a really nice one for the bass, and it only costs like 20 quid, which is really fucking good for a pedal. I've got two distortion pedals. I've got a DSI or DS1, don't know what that is, distortion stomp box, which is the main one I use, and I've got a governor stomp box as well, which gives a sort of more, it's kind of more muted, the sort of sound of it. It's not quite as crunchy, and it's good for bits and pieces. But yeah, those are the pedals that I use. Gonna have to make a capture for the stream exactly. But yeah, I was just thinking there while I was fucking sitting on. Thank you. That's very kind. The governor I don't use very often. I've only used it once this stream. It's not the best. I've had it for a long time. It was one of the first pedals I got. It's not the best, but if you add it with other stuff, you can create kind of nice sounds. The DSI is much better for a distortion pedal. I think the governor is overdrive rather than distortion. So that I'm never quite sure on the distinction, but it sounds slightly different. But yeah, when I was just doing that last wee tune there, I was just thinking this is a very nice. I'm glad I made this channel. I'm glad I made this decision 3 years ago to do this. Because firstly, it is a lot of fun. Being able to just do this on stream. And I'm glad that, like, I've only been doing like music on stream for a little while, but it was a good decision to do. For me, the music is secondary to watching John fight with chat. Exactly. I will not back down. It's extremely good to be able to just sit here and do this shit as part of life, and it's just a nice fucking thing to do. And yeah, and I like making these videos, these wee videos. It's fucking stressful at times. It's a not the easiest thing in the world to do a lot of the time, but I'm very glad I do it, and I hope I get to do it for a bit longer. We'll see how things turn out, but I'm glad this channel exists. It's been very helpful in a lot of ways. Like, this channel has been very helpful for, like, it's influenced my work outside the channel in big ways. And it's I'm very it sounds ominous. I'm very pleased with the kind of sort of community that we have here. Like, we have a very nice space where everyone's kind of just chill with each other, and that's all we fucking want, because these spaces can get out of hand so easily. But we don't want that, do we? We want people to be like fucking chill with each other. It's you know, it's easy when you have strong opinions to dive into being not chill and being mean to other people, and I don't want that to happen. and I'm glad that's not happened. I'm glad people are nice here. That's all I want, is for it to be a cool space where people feel welcome, unless they're horrible bastards, in which case we can drum them out. If you're all a horrible bastard, fuck you. If you're chill, you're fine. We're here with our fucking frozen grapes and our ciders, and we're just chilling. We can let the other folk do what they want, and we can just sit here and chill. Sinan, you know I love you. Yeah, so here's to at least a little, let's say fuck it. Here's to at least 3 years more. Non-chill that comment. But I mean, 3 more years. There we go. I've still got some fucking gas in the tank. I can still pump out some videos. I've still got ideas, things I want to share, things I want to do. There's no stopping me now. Alright, so unless anyone's got any more pressing questions or anything that they want to... Oh, I've got a big document of ideas as well, Sinan. If anyone's got any more questions or any more topics that they want to chat about, we will start bringing this to a close. And I say that because normally it takes about 10 minutes for me to start bringing a stream to a close. So here we go. Final call for topics. Got a wee bit of raspberry in my mouth there. As I say, next video is going to be on... Well, the next video... WTYP. I don't know what's WTYP. How do I keep myself motivated to keep creating content when you're getting little to no feedback and doing it all for free? So, yeah, I mean, even at this stage, most of the... oh, well, there's your problem. I mean, I'd go on that show anyway. Well, this is great. If they'd invite me on, I'd go on it. Of course. A lot of the time, I don't get feedback, aside from yeah, I mean, it's hard, especially early on, when you're not reaching out to people. It's hard to keep motivated to go on. And there's one thing that you get a lot of, earlier people who want to start doing YouTube channels, they ask you, and I don't know why they ask me, because I'm not exactly fucking successful in this field, but they ask you how you keep going, or what to do when they're starting off, and the answer is that you can only really do this stuff if it's for you. There's a reason I don't make videos that follow particular zeitgeists, because following a zeitgeist and relying on the opinions of or the feedback of other people to push you on to make more stuff, you're gonna drive yourself mad doing that, because a lot of stuff you do is gonna fail, and gonna be worse, and gonna do worse than you want it to, which is sad but true. And you kind of just have to make stuff for you, and that's kind of how I approach these topics. A lot of doing a video is, in a large part, helping me understand something that I want to understand more than it is about communicating it to other people. Obviously, I make a YouTube channel, but so I'm interested in communicating to other people. But the thing that drives me isn't necessarily, like in the last instance, that communication. It's something that I want to do, and sort of don't want to use the word artistic because I don't necessarily see the stuff I do as artistic, but it's more like an internal sort of relation to what the stuff I make rather than an external relation. Yeah, I know what you mean, Birdie. It's hard when you put a lot of work into stuff and nobody notices. And like even now, like there are videos I've made that have like less than 5,000 views that I put weeks and weeks of work into that so few people have seen. But you kind of have to dissociate yourself from the idea that people have to see something for it to have worth. And it is shit. Like, there's not an easy fix to be like, oh, this has like, oh, suddenly I don't need these people. Like, we always do to some extent. But you try to remind yourself that this is something for you, not necessarily for everyone else. And that's all you can really do about it. And also, like, there's a difference between lots of people glancing at your work and a few people really looking at it. And you might have people really looking at your work and taking a lot out of it, and they might not be loads of people, but they might be some people. And some people getting a lot out of something that you produce is, for me, better than a lot of people getting something shallow. And I guess you can, if you know people, the odd person who's gotten a lot from your work. Like, I was thinking about this the other day. Someone sent me a really, really nice Patreon message, and I'd be feeling really low lately because my channel has stalled slightly. Since like March was when I reached like 20,000 subscribers, and it's gone about 3,000 since March. It's really stalled. And I was feeling quite despondent about that. And I was thinking about that, and then somebody sent me just an extremely kind message that was about how the channel had completely changed how they thought about the world and how they thought about things. And like one comment like that absolutely upturns everything. You think, fuck, if one person can have their, like, fucking one person's world changed is the whole world for that one person, right? Like, having lots of people be nudged is different from having one person whose entire world has changed. And that's incredibly moving. And you get messages like that every now and again, where just like you're feeling low and one person gives you a really kind message, and you're like, fuck, this is, like, I was considering, so the Adam Conover video did well, but it didn't do as well as I really wanted it to do, and that meant that I was considering quitting doing this, because for some reasons, like, I might not be able to afford to keep doing it. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort, it takes weeks of research, and like at some point, especially right now where a lot of stuff in my life is really hectic, I might not have time for that. And then that person sent me that message, and that completely upturned it, because that one person sent me a really kind thing about how the channel had changed their perspectives on the world. So yeah, I mean, that's really all I can say on that. Probably not hugely helpful, but that's all I can really say on that. I need to watch that video. That's one thing I need to do, actually. I'm so busy right now, because like I'm reaching the end of the PhD stuff, um, so I'm like very very busy. So I've not been able to like keep uh, keep up with my friends' channels. So I need to watch that Kaelin Conrad video, because Kaelin's great. Mm. Um, yeah, I will watch it at some point. Yeah, Sinan, that's Sinan. We need to chat more. I need to go on your stream more, and also we need to meet up. You're not even that far away. We need to meet in the real world, in the flesh world, to actually talk in real life. It is hard to stop caring about the numbers, but I mean, the numbers influence your ability to live. And if I could make this a full time thing where I could um, live off of the revenue generated from it, it would be incredible. But I can't right now. Maybe in future, can't right now. But being unable to means that you do kind of focus on the numbers, and it's an unfortunate side effect. Yeah. It's one of those things, yeah. I mean, at this stage, I'm in that sort of middle stage where YouTube can pay for my rent, which is incredible. So my sort of ideal situation would be to have a part-time job and be able to do both. It's unlikely that's going to happen, but we'll see. The future is yet to be written. Um, Liz, that's. I mean, it's. There's no. This is. We're in an anniversary stream. We can be corny here. I like the corniness. Um, and I'm very glad to have. It's hard to describe. The feeling of having something you've created impact someone else. Um, but it's a good feeling. Unless it's impacted them badly, and then it's a bad feeling. And such are the highs and lows. Mm. Infinite energy. You do have infinite energy. The next we should talk about this off screen, Sinan. But is there any more movement on that D&D thing that we did? Any sort of movement on making that a more regular thing? Because that would be fun. 34. All right, I think we will draw the stream to a close here. We've done our stop. We've had our chats. Sorry if I missed anyone's questions. Um, but unless there's anything absolutely urgent, I think we'll draw it to a close here. I'll turn the music up for a wee minute at the end, and then we can just sort of vibe and chat for a bit. Thanks for coming along.